Raptors, forward, center, just baller in general, Chris Boucher. Chris, you know, you're not the second longest tenured Raptor now on the team.
No, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's just Pascal longer than you.
Oh, so only 1 year? Cool.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Definitely proud of it.
I mean, you're a veteran of the Raptors, but you're also a veteran of the Raptors show. You know, I feel like we've done so many pieces of content, podcasts together, your show, my show. So, you know, obviously today we're actually relaunching the show for the season. We're back on TV, back on air. So I appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah, no worries, man. Always. Always a pleasure.
Let's start with the summer, man. So how was your summer? You know, how was, did you get away? What'd you do?
No, it was good. I went to St. Lucia back home. Went to see my family, extended family, people that didn't see me since I was young. You know, worked a lot on different stuff. Knowing that I was having a coaching staff change, I felt like I wanted to work on a lot of different things, not knowing who was coming back. But like I said, I also did a lot of camps and all of that I usually do. So typical summer, definitely. You know, enjoyed it a little bit, but the typical summer.
Did you catch any of the Canada basketball? Because you know your boy Dillon.
Yeah.
You always defend Dillon because obviously you guys go way back. Obviously you guys played at Oregon together.
Mm-hmm.
You always defended Dillon, even last year when he was beefing with LeBron.
Yeah.
And I thought Dillon had such a great summer. So what was your perspective?
I mean, it was to be expected. Like I said, I feel like Dillon is just somebody that is misunderstood. His game kind of make people see him as a different person. I know I'm inside out, so I really know who he is. I know the passion that he has for the love for the game, and that was just good to see him, you know, actually do something for Canada and actually having some people that praise him instead of just downing him. So, and he signed a big contract. So, I mean, kudos to him for everything.
Yeah. Watching the run, like, the part of you was like, yo, I should be out there too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a part of me that was like, you know what, man, we could have probably, you know, fight against a shooter or something if, you know, we had the full team. So, I mean, obviously, when watching that, seeing what they did, and obviously they succeeded to bring us to the Olympics, I think it makes a lot of Canadians that could have been in the team or wanted to be in the team to play. You know, hopefully guys like Andrew Wiggins and them guys too are seeing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure next year everybody wants to go to the Olympics. I'm sure I'll count you in that group too.
Yep.
Okay, I don't want to talk that much about last year, but I do want to ask 3 questions just about last year, and then we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably just start here. Like, what were you guys expecting to happen last season? Because you guys put a lot of training, a lot of good work into it, and then sort of like, what went wrong? You know what I mean?
I think there's a point where like everybody kind of there was a place of confusion between like, you know, the young guys and the old guys. I think it's just them not adjusting fast enough and us wanting it too fast, and then after that it was more like them, you know, actually flourishing and doing really good, and us still being used to, you know, the typical different type that we were raised. Like when I came here, I mean, if you're the 15th guy or the 14th guy, you know, you just gotta wait your time, you know. Yeah. But now we're seeing guys that are like coming in the league right away, doing an impact and all that. I think that definitely impacted a lot of stuff. Obviously, you're not winning. That makes everything a little bit worse. I think, you know, it wasn't as bad as everybody's seen, but our game, when we're showing the games, it showed a little version that probably affected everybody on the team.
Okay. That's a good perspective, right? Because it's just human. Like there was that group with, I would say, you, Pascal, Fred, Norm, OG, Dillon, I'm sure I'm missing some other guys, where you guys were all drafted later, or even in some cases like you and Fred, not even drafted at all, because of the climb up the whole ladder. There's like all these steps, right? Exactly. And you know, the league, I think that's the league changing, not even so much the Raptors changing. You know, 100%. The whole league is like that now. So.
But also, like, some of us just got to be more realistic. Like, a guy like me, I can't say nothing when a guy like Scotty comes on the team. And it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to be honest with myself. So, I think that's something that is hard for certain players to admit that, you know, a young guy might come and obviously you might not get it all right now, but his potential is probably higher than you or whatever. And then you just, you know, as a vet now, I understand a lot better how you want to, you know, cherish these guys and you want to be there for them. And I mean, as a vet, what you want to do is go back at them and, you know, still show that you're, you know, capable of playing or better, but you still want them to, you know, if they doing it good, then you want to be there for them. And I think that's something that, you know, I end up, you know, figuring out with the time, but it wasn't always like that.
Right. Okay. The second question I had was just in terms of like, so last year, I think it happened even more than previous years, but there's just a lot of public call-outs from the coach, you know, and I know that happened to you a couple 100%. Of times. Sometimes maybe you deserve it, maybe you don't, but still, when that happened to you or when it happened to some of the rest of the guys on the team, like, how did you guys sort of approach it? Like,
I mean, me, I got used to it. I mean, I won't lie to you. Like, I knew how many mistakes I was doing, and all that. So,
Okay.
I mean, I kind of expected, some criticism on my game and all. I mean, I wasn't always a lot agreeing with all of them, but like as a professional, I kind of knew my place. I think it's all different with other players. For example, I'm good with having a coach telling me what I have to do, whatever. There's certain ways to say it, but I try with coaches telling me what wrong because I want to fix it. Some players are just, it's a breaking. You got to break that habit of
Right.
thinking that you're always perfect. They always have people around them telling they're doing good. So when they have a coach for the first time that telling them or putting them on, Twitter or whatever about something, it might affect them differently. So I can't answer for everybody, but I know for me, definitely, there's a certain way of communicating, and I think that every coach has different ways of doing it.
Yeah, I appreciate your honesty on that because I think a lot of players would just shy away from this kind of question, but I think it was interesting with Nick because even towards the end of the year, it was almost like he called himself out in a way because he was like, I've been here like 10 years. I got to reevaluate. And I was like, I know us in the media, when we heard that, we were like, okay, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What was the reaction in the players? Because I'm sure you guys were probably taken by surprise.
To be honest with you, during that time, we were just thinking about making the playoffs. So it was kind of tough. Like, we're in a situation where we're trying to be in the play-in and make it. We didn't want to be in play-in, we wanted to be in playoffs. So, I mean, I didn't see the interview until the end. So I can't even say that it affected the game or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if I was front office or whatever, I think watching this, not knowing what my future was going to be, if my coach says that, then some decision has to be made. So I'm not in a position to talk for anybody, but I know that if it rubbed the fans a different way, what do you think it did with the front office and everybody else?
No, that's fair. I feel like that's just one of those things where you don't say it in season, you say it at the end of the season. You know what I mean? So, and then the third question was just rotations are kind of short last year, right? So a lot of young guys didn't really get minutes. When you were younger, and you didn't get minutes, how did that affect you? Because I'm sure a lot of the other players on the team were in that same boat last year.
Well, me, what it made me realize that I wasn't good enough. That's how I took it.
Okay.
And I know there's two different ways of seeing it. It's either I'm too good and I should be playing and I don't understand what's going on, and that might just make you know I want to work hard and whatever. But I mean, I had Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol, Kawhi. My first year I had KD. Like I knew I wasn't even close to that. So it just made me want to work hard and learn. And I think that's what's good about this year on our team is that they see the Pascal, they see the OG, the Gary, and the guys under them are trying to learn from it, which is, a really, really good thing. But I think it could be seen it totally different. Like, you could just be like, you know what? Like, my first year when I had KD and all them, I was like, they're never going to use me. So I was chilling more, and, that got me waived. So.
Right. Yeah. I feel like you really had to get it, like, learn it the hard way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I for sure definitely took, like, if you tell me about my career, I definitely had to go every way, like every step of the way. And I, like, even when things are not well, playing 2 days as a two-way, all that stuff, like, that's what I try to tell those guys like McKees and all. I'm like, you guys might think that it's hard, but, like, imagine when it was in the G League and the D League and you were doing all, like, it was just worse. I'm not one of the guys that went to the worst, but I know I've been through enough to talk about it.
I was just chatting earlier this week with one of your former teammates, Mike Kabongo. He says he's your boy, right?
Yeah.
And he said you guys put 905 together. And I was asking about you at that time. And he was like, Chris was like 30 points a game, 15 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals.
I was thinking about getting out of there. That's what I was,
that's what it takes, though.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what I said. I mean, I have my twin over here, so MG. I told him that. I was like, if they send you to the G League, man, go over there, average 30 and 20, you'll be back, because he's really athletic. I think he's really got a good job. MK too. I mean, I got 2 twins now, but.
The Raptors got a type, you know what I mean? What's up, Bobby? All right, you just walking
past. What's up, Bobby? What up,
man? Is that Bobby's kid?
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable. Okay, let's talk about this year then. So what did you guys do differently this summer? Like group sessions? Like what did you guys do to sort of fix it? Because you obviously, you guys know you guys should be a winning program, and you guys are a winning program. So how'd you guys fix it?
I mean, I think Coach came, and that definitely made everybody, more excited. Brought some pop a little bit. I think what he really did was, kind of tell us that we were only gonna do it together, making important to pass the ball, but also knowing that it's a learning curve that we have in breaking habits, and it's a lot easier to break habits as a team than one player at a time. So I think that's something that helps us. And not knowing that it's not only the rookies, Scotty, me, Gary, we all had to do it, Pascal. So I think that really helped out, and the patience that we have for it.
I like that. Darko always talks about doing everything together. Together. Even with him and his coaching staff, they're always together, which is nice. In terms of, cause I know you guys get together in like Vegas, you guys get together in LA. I'm sure you guys got like a pre-training camp here in Toronto as well before going to Vancouver.
Yeah.
We don't get to see a lot of that stuff. So I want to ask you, like, who is one player that like fans and media are sleeping on behind the scenes? That they're killing behind the scenes, but we don't really know about it.
I mean, Malachi was not that bad. Jeff was not that bad too. I mean, if you talk about like guys that you're like, okay, what they're doing a lot, you know, you see a change or they did good. I think these two was really good. I mean, obviously, I think, you know, when it comes to the black team, whatever, they were good too. But I was definitely happy to see like the growth of Malachi and Jeff. I think they, you know, especially coming off the bench, you know, you play with them a lot more. So I kind of were able to see it in firsthand. And I think they really did a really good job changing their game and trying to, you know, compliment whatever coach wanted them to do.
Yeah. By the way, is it just me or is Malachi bulked up?
Yeah. He's been lifting.
He's kind of decent.
He's been lifting, definitely. I mean, I was in the gym with him, and I mean, he said he's lifting the same thing as me, and he's like 6 foot. So
okay,
you know, you gotta accept that.
He's strong. Okay, I got you. Yeah. I think in terms of Darko and the staff, right? There's been so much talk about the new offense, and I just asked him out there, and he kind of agreed with this statement. But I wanted to hear your thoughts on it too. Mm-hmm. It feels like this year he really wants to create a lot of the offense through movement rather than through the dribble.
Yeah, I mean that is a good point. That it's crazy that you're saying that today because we were just playing 5-on-5 without dribbling the ball.
What does that even look like?
I mean, it's hard, but like to be honest with you, like as the minute that we're gonna figure that one out, we're gonna be so much better because moving and all like without dribbling, it makes the game so much harder. And what thing that made us realize that the more you hold it and see the cuts or whatever, the better it is. And you know, the first time we did it, everybody's trying to move fast, whatever, because you know you can't dribble and it's like a mess. But as soon as you hold the ball and everybody's cutting, and it seems to help a lot more. And I think he really makes us to understand that we do it every day, and then that helps us a lot.
Well, I feel like this really benefits you, right? Because you've always been a really good cutter. Yeah, it's not like they give you the ball and just clear up for you.
No,
You've
always had plays.
You always cut.
Yeah, I mean, I always cut offensive rebound and all that. That's why it really helps me. Like, I've never been a player where you call a play for me and be like, okay, you're gonna come out a pen down or whatever. So, it definitely helps me out a lot with the cuts and all. But I think the one thing that is gonna make me a lot better here is defensively, because the rotation and all that, they're a little bit easier, but like with the length that I have, it makes it a lot easier for me and guys like Jalen McDaniel, Pascal OG. So I think it's really going to help us out defensively. I mean, the offense is going to get there eventually. We got good scorers, but defensively, I think if they were talking about we're getting a lot of deflection last year and all that, I think we're going to be a lot better this year.
Okay, I like that. Because you guys should be great. You guys literally have the tallest athletes out there pretty 100%. Much every single night, right? Yeah. So you guys should be great defensively. All right, one last question about your game, and then I want to do a little quick like true or false kind of thing to end. All right. For your game, what's one thing that you feel like you improved on last season, and one thing that you want to keep getting better at this year?
The one thing that I got better, I think, is discipline. Just knowing, like, you know, that you don't have to shoot every shot. Yeah. Not kind of knowing what's next for a guy. You know, I mean, I used to play the game and just be raw over there. I think now that more using the scout report, knowing what it is, right, left, kind of knowing, you know, how far I could be from a player without, you know, having to do a back closeouts and stuff like that. I think that helps me out a lot. One thing that I want to get better again is still figuring out when to help, when not to help. I think that's something, as a shot blocker, you always feel like you're the help guy. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting better at it, but I think there's still, you know, ways to be better, especially playing with different guys. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I know I definitely tweeted about you a lot less.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to do it a lot less too. I mean, obviously I do it 1 or 2 times, but I think 2 to years.
No, you genuinely have been a lot better on that, honestly. Thanks. A lot more solid. That's not me just saying that because you're in the room. I say that on the show all the time. Okay, last thing to do, true or false, on new season storylines. Because you know when the new season comes around, we put out new headlines, and I want you inside to just tell me true or false on these things, okay? All right, number 1, Darko stops practice anytime you guys get stagnant.
Yes, true.
That's true. Okay, all right. Scotty is now 6'11" and 240 plus.
6'11", yes, 240 plus.
Wait, he's actually 6'11"? What do you? He said that on the stream, but I don't. Is that true?
Like, I mean, he's definitely, like, when I look at him, I look definitely to his eyes. So he might be 6'11". Wow. 240 is big. It's
like really LeBron big. Level. Yeah. Next one, Yak and the rest of the centers are going to get the ball every touch in the post.
False.
No, not every time. Okay.
You know, Pascal, OG, everybody gonna get it over there.
All right. Next one. Dennis is starting. Gary's gonna be the sixth man.
True for what I've seen right now, but who knows?
Okay. All right. Darko's gonna play a 10-man rotation this year.
I'd say true, but I think that it might change with will depend on who we're playing.
Gotcha.
And who you need and injuries.
All right, two more. Raptors gonna win more than the 36.5 Vegas win total.
100%.
Yeah, that's disrespectful, man. 36.5. Come on. And then last one. Chris Boucher gonna do more episodes of Hustle Play this year on Yahoo Sports.
Probably yes, 100%.
Yeah, got you. Who's the number one guest you want to get right now?
Grady.
Got you.
Grady's my guy.
All right, Chris, appreciate you. You always help us out on the show. Best of luck on the season. And we can't wait to see what it looks like. All right.
Appreciate it.